2 minutes is all? All right. Here we go. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? It's a late one, 9 o'clock, isn't it? Oh, I gotta turn this down. I made you something. Wait till you see what I made you. But let's look first to see if Mr. Elon is live yet. I think it doesn't start till 9:30, but I might have the wrong time. Notification on, upcoming. 9:15, 12,000 waiting. So, oh, his little chat's disabled. AI putting the chat on disable. So you can't chat over there. 12,000 people don't get to talk about how AI is going to try to run our lives. You know that's why they don't put the chat on, because people would be like, take the AI and put it where the sun don't shine. At least I do. So it looks like it's in Palo Alto, California, but we're gonna be exposing some things, or we're not exposing them, they exposed them, but we're gonna show you what they've been up to. But you guys probably already know a lot of it, but there might be something new. But I've got something to entertain you for 20 minutes. So you guys doing okay? Hi, Spudsy. Rodolfo. Sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. Maybe Caitlin could do that. Vilcapazaza. Rodolfo Capazaza. Mitchell Zilf. Good to see you all. So I'm going to pull up your chat room. Make sure I have that. And then I'll show you the video that I made for you. Let's see. Let me pop you out. Put you right over here. See how that looks. How's that look? I kind of got my big head over here taking up the whole side. I still have to figure out more about that. You're from Peru? Well, nice to meet you. Let's see where I put it. Let's see. Videos. I think I have let's see here. I edited it and everything. I've just been, you probably see I'm still sweaty from moving the furniture around and stuff. Do you want to restore it? Yes, please, because maybe I need the finished product. I added music to some of it and everything. File, open project. Okay, save. Yes, please. Okay, maybe this will be my saving grace, because I think I unplugged something. AI day. We'll just call it AI day. Let's see if this works. Ready? Oh, it's gonna put it there. Maybe. Well, let's see if that'll work. If I could just make the screen big. Full screen. Huh? We could get around. How did this work? Did that work? Hi, Nicole. Hopefully I'm not getting messed with by AI. AI is messing with me. Haha. Okay. Am I done? Am I on live now? How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay. AI is messing with me. Haha. Okay, I'm gonna start it over. It was only 1 minute. It's okay. I'm starting it over. Okay. Hopefully this won't happen again. Please, God, keep the AI off my back. In Jesus' name. Hi, Nicole. Streaming. Why is it doing that? AI, you leave me alone in Jesus' name. You hear me? Leave me alone in Jesus' name. I'll try not to say anything too nasty about you, okay? Just leave me alone in Jesus' name. Is it back?
Unlike Dojo, obviously that was not real. So Dojo is real. The Tesla bot will be real. But basically, if you think about what we're doing right now with the cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are like semi-sentient robots on wheels. And with the full self-driving computer, essentially the inference engine on the car, which will keep evolving, obviously, and Dojo, and all the neural nets recognizing the world, understanding how to navigate through the world, it kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. And we're also quite good at sensors and batteries and actuators. So we think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this. And it's intended to be friendly, of course.
Of course.
And navigate through a world built for humans and eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks. We're setting it
You know,
such
all
that
the
it is
meaningless jobs.
at a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it. And most likely overpower it. So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you never know. So it'll be a light, yeah, anyway, 5 miles an hour. If you can run faster than that, it'll be fine.
You know they're going to go faster than that.
So, yeah, it's around 5'8". Has sort of a screen where the head is for useful information, but it's otherwise basically got the autopilot system in it. So it's got cameras, got 8 cameras and
8 cameras.
yeah.
Yeah, 8 cameras.
Full self-driving computer, and making use of all of the same tools that we use in the car. So, I mean, things I think that are really hard about having a useful humanoid robot is, can it navigate through the world without being explicitly trained? I mean, without explicit, like, line-by-line instructions. Can you talk to it and say, please pick up that bolt,
Please don't kill me.
Attach it to the car with that wrench, and it should be able to do that. It should be able to, please go to the store and get me the following groceries. That kind of thing.
Please put down the knife.
So, yeah, I think we can do that.
Here's what else they can do with them. See the guns? Oh, that's the arm. There's some with guns, though. Here we go. Here we go. Holds that kickback real good, doesn't it? Oh dear. Sit, boo-boo. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Nerf guns that will shoot at you. Oh, what is it? Oh, puppy.
Hello, guys.
Great to see you, my friend.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is your name? Mister, what is your name? Did you
You
hear?
better
He looks
use Google.
cross-eyed.
Okay. What is your name?
You can call me pretty boy.
Clear.
Pretty boy.
A
Okay.
lot of awesome robots.
So far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was
Like a
thinking.
pet.
Cat, like
a cat,
the cat.
like a cat. It would be
Elon
like
the
a house
cat,
cat. Yeah, it would be
right.
like the house cat.
Right.
So that honestly, that would be the benign scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't love the idea of being a house cat.
Okay.
But that.
So what's the
Bear with me. Is it going? Let's see, if I stop recording, might stop some stuff from happening. Is it working yet? Let me just go here. See what it's doing. Uh-oh. Yep.
Oh.
Okay, here he is. Okay, let me go speed, go to 1.25. He is coming on live now, so we'll watch the rest of mine in a minute. Looks like a bunch of young people. Mind controlled
All right, welcome,
college
everybody.
kids.
Let's give everyone a moment to get back in the audience and.
It says I love you.
All right.
I
Great.
knew it. I knew it.
Welcome
I
to
knew they
Tesla
would be
AI
like,
Day
here's your
2022.
flowers. Let me have it bring you some flowers.
We've got some really exciting
That's why
things
I
to show
showed you the guns.
I think you'll be pretty impressed. I do want to set some expectations with respect to our Optimus robot. As you know, last year it was just a person in a robot suit, but we've come a long way, and it's I think compared to that, it's going to be very impressive. And we're going to talk about the advancements in AI for full self-driving, as well as how they apply to more generally to
How about
real-world
the
AI
neural
problems
lace?
like a humanoid robot and
you talk
even
about
going
that?
beyond that. I think there's some potential that what we're doing here at Tesla could make a meaningful contribution to AGI. And I think actually Tesla's a good entity to do it from a governance standpoint because we're a publicly traded company with one class of stock, and that means that the public controls Tesla, and I think that's actually a good thing. So if I go crazy, you can fire me. This is important. Maybe I've gone crazy. I don't know.
I could fire you, Elon. You're
Yeah, so
fired.
we're going to talk a lot about our progress in AI, autopilot, as well as the progress with Dojo. And then we're going to bring the team out and do a long Q&A. So you can ask tough questions, whatever you'd like, existential questions, technical questions. But we want to have as much time for Q&A as possible. So let's see, with that, do you guys want to say anything?
Hey guys, I'm Elon. I work on Autopilot in the Tesla bot.
And I'm Lizzie, mechanical engineer on the project as well.
Okay. So should we bring up the bot?
Before we do that, we have one little bonus tip for the day. This is actually the first time we try this robot without any backup support. Cranes, mechanical mechanisms, no cables, nothing.
Yeah.
I want to do it with you guys tonight, but it's the first time, so let's see.
You ready? Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in normal time here. That's it. Creepy. Can we put like some clothes on it? They're joking us.
I think the bot got some boobs too.
I think they just like slowed it
So
down.
this is essentially the same full self-driving computer that runs in your Tesla cars, by the way.
This is literally the first time the robot has operated without its tether. It was on stage
Praying
tonight.
mantis. I'm creeped out.
So the robot can actually do a lot more than we just showed you. We just didn't want it to fall on its face. So we'll show you some videos now of the robot doing a bunch of other things, which are less risky. Yeah.
We should close the screen, guys.
Come on, you've seen Boston Dynamics, right? Come on.
Yeah, we wanted to show a little bit more what we've done over the past few months with the bot, and just walking around and dancing on stage.
So in other words, you're not doing as good as Boston Dynamics.
Just humble beginnings, but you can see the autopilot neural networks running as is, just retrained for the bot directly on that new platform. That's my watering can.
Yeah, when you see a rendered view, that's the robot. That's the world the robot sees. So it's very clearly identifying objects. Like this is the object it should picking it up. Yeah.
What are you
We use
guys
the same
saying? What do
process
you
as we did
think?
for autopilot to collect
Looks
data
like
and train
Terminator.
neural networks that we then deploy on the robot. That's an example that illustrates the upper
All
body
it needs
a
is
little
like
bit
the
more.
teeth and the skull face.
Something that we'll try to nail down in a few months, over the next few months, I would say, to perfection.
This is really an actual station in the Fremont factory as well that it's working at.
Yep. So.
Is that it?
And that's not the only thing we have to show today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you saw was
Can I
what we
fast
call
forward
Bumble
you
C.
now?
That's our
Show me
sort of
something,
rough
Elon.
development robot using
Or you're fired.
off-the-shelf actuators. But we actually have gone a step further than that already. The team's done an incredible job. And we actually have an Optimus bot with fully Tesla-designed and built actuators, battery pack, control system, everything. It wasn't quite ready to walk, but I think it will walk in a few weeks. But we wanted to show you the robot, something that's actually fairly close to what will go into production, and show you all the things it can do. So let's bring it out.
Do it.
Okay, well now at least it's got a shirt on. Optimus.
So here you're seeing Optimus with with the degrees of freedom that we expect to have in Optimus Production Unit 1, which is the ability to move all the fingers independently, to have the thumb have 2 degrees of freedom, so it has opposable thumbs, and both left and right hand, so it's able to operate tools and do useful things. Our goal is to make a useful humanoid robot as quickly as possible. And we've also designed it using the same discipline that we use in designing the car, which is to design it for manufacturing such that it's possible to make the robot in high volume at low cost with high reliability. So that's incredibly important. I mean, you've all seen very impressive humanoid robot demonstrations, and that's great, but what are they missing? They're missing a brain. They don't have the intelligence to navigate the world by themselves. And they're also very expensive and made in low volume. Whereas...
What do you think they're going to do, guys? The brain is too expensive. They're going to use your brain. The stuff that's going in the body. Wait till you hear it. Like, at the end of my video that I made, which has like 5 minutes left on it, please hang around for that, okay? Because that 5 minutes, you're going to put 2 and 2 together. And you're going to realize what they're going to use. This thing is crap compared to us. They're going to use us. They're going to make us the robots. I mean, they might have one main one or something because it indwells the beast or something. Like, it'll speak and live. And people will worship it. But they'll all be connected to it. But I don't think they're going to have a whole bunch of these. Like, I don't know. That's my thoughts anyway. All right, just hang out for a minute. I think just speed this up and see.
Optimus is designed to be an extremely capable robot, but made in very high volume, probably ultimately millions of units, and it is expected to cost much less than a car. So I would say probably less than $20,000 would be my guess.
You got an extra $20,000?
The potential for Optimus is, I think, appreciated by very few people. Hey! As usual, Tesla demos are coming in hot. So,
that's good.
yeah. The team's put in an incredible amount of work, working 7 days a week, burning the 3 a.m. oil to get to do the demonstration today. I'm super proud of what they've done. They've really done a great job. I'd just like to give a hand to the whole Optimus team.
These are the robots. These are the robots that in that movie I, Robot. The ones that are like in the little housing units, the little semi-truck beds or whatever, the containers. These are the ones that are going to get beat the crap out of when Boston Dynamics comes after them.
So, now there's still a lot of work to be done to refine Optimus and improve it. Obviously, this is just Optimus version 1. And that's really why we're holding this event, which is to convince some of the most talented people in the world, like you guys, to join Tesla and help make it a reality and bring it to fruition at scale such that it can help millions of people. And the potential, like I said, is really boggles the mind, because you have to say, like, what is an economy? An economy is sort of productive entities times their productivity, capita times productivity per capita. At the point at which there is not a limitation on capita, it's not clear what an economy even means at that point. An economy becomes quasi-infinite. So, what taken to fruition in the hopefully benign scenario, this means a future of abundance, a future where there is no poverty, where you can have whatever you want in terms of products and services. It really is a fundamental transformation of civilization as we know it.
Promises.
Obviously, we want to make sure that transformation is a positive one and safe. But that's also why I think
Safe and security,
Tesla as an
guys.
entity doing this, being a single class of stock, publicly traded, owned by the public, is very important and should not be overlooked. I think this is essential because then if the public doesn't like what Tesla's doing, the public can buy shares in Tesla and vote differently. This is a big deal. Like it's very important that I can't just do what I want. Sometimes people think that, but it's not true.
What would you do if you could,
it's very
Elon?
important that the corporate entity that makes this happen is something that the public can properly influence. And so I think the Tesla structure is ideal for that. And like I said, that self-driving cars will certainly have a tremendous impact on the world. I think they will improve the productivity of transport by at least a half order of magnitude, perhaps an order of magnitude, perhaps more. Optimus, I think, has maybe a 2 order of magnitude potential improvement in economic output. It's not clear what the limit actually even is. But we need to do this in the right way. We need to do it carefully and safely, and ensure that the outcome is one that is beneficial to civilization and one that
Okay,
humanity
he's just
wants.
doing the sales pitch
Can't
now.
this also-
So let's finish off this, and then it's under Tesla is that video that I'm watching live. So if you want to watch whatever he has left of it, just please stick around for the next 4 minutes because this is important.
Scenario. I mean, I don't love the idea of being a house cat.
Okay.
But
So what's the solution?
yeah, so I think one of the solutions is to have an AI layer. If you think of like you've got your limbic system, your cortex, and then a digital layer, sort of a third layer above the cortex, that could work well and symbiotically with you. I mean, just as your cortex works symbiotically with your limbic system, your sort of a third digital layer could work symbiotically with the rest.
This is something that's surgically inserted or bred into the species, or what?
The fundamental limitation is input-output. So you have more power than the President of the United States had 20 years ago. That you can answer any question, you can video conference with anyone
Right.
anywhere, you can send a message to millions of people instantly. You can just do incredible things. But the constraint is input-output. So we're I/O bound, particularly output bound. I mean, like your output level is so low. It's like, particularly on a phone, like your 2 thumbs
Your
is sort of
output
tapping
level
away.
is very low right
This is
now.
ridiculously slow. Our input is much better because we have a high bandwidth visual interface to
so
the
I wanna
brain.
speed
Like
you up.
our eyes
I
taking a
can't.
lot of
I would.
data. So there's many orders of magnitude difference between input and output. Effectively merging in a symbiotic way with digital intelligence revolves around eliminating the I/O constraint. So it'd be some sort of direct cortical interface. I mean, there are a few ways to approach this, but
Interface.
some sort of interface directly with your cortical neurons particularly.
But doesn't that imply surgical insertion?
Not
Or
necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries because that provides a complete roadway to all of your neurons.
Eliza Strickland from spectrum.iee.org wrote an article that got neural research experts' thoughts on Elon Musk's Neuralink. Neurologist and CEO of Synchron, Thomas Oxley, invented the Stentrode, which is a neural probe that can be delivered to the brain through blood vessels, and is planning its first clinical trial for 2018 in Australia. Oxley says, if Neuralink is working on a similar delivery system as the Stentrode, it will take a long time to get to the point where Synchron is at. It took Synchron 2 years working with sheep to deliver the catheter delivery system alone. And then electrical engineer professor at Berkeley, Michael Maharbiz, who is working on neural dust, which are wireless electrodes that can be scattered throughout the nervous system to record signals. The obstacles that Maharbiz is facing include circuit design, materials, communication schemes, and power. And he says developing neural dust is a difficult multi-year endeavor. Based on the experts, Neuralink is not trying to do something impossible, but it sure is a moonshot. Remember at the beginning when I said Neuralink was founded by 8 other people? Those 8 other founders are actually a super team of talent that hopes to make Neuralace a reality. There is Flip Sabes, a UC San Francisco professor who has worked on brain-machine interfaces. There is Ben Rappaport, a neurosurgeon with a PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from MIT. DJ Seo, who studies at UC Berkeley and designs brain-machine interface concepts. Paul Merola, who has designed more than 10 brain-inspired chips. Vanessa Tolosa, a researcher of biocompatible materials at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Max Haddock, who worked on brain-machine interface technology while at Duke. Tim Hansen, a researcher at the Berkeley Sensor and Actuator Center. And Tim Gardner, a professor of biology at Boston University who has worked on brain-machine interfaces in birds. So you see, Neuralink has an impressive talent pool in the co-founders alone. This doesn't even account for any scientists that they hire.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd. But the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far.
Satellites, huh? Like what is it? Starlink? Right? I got one more thing to show you. Hold on one second. Let's see, where is it at? Oh, I have to go to my Twitter. One more thing. Hold on one second. I want to show you something. Oh man, oh man. Watch this guy, watch this guy. This is a new one. Watch. Here he goes. Look at him look up. And start twirling. It's a new one. Isn't that crazy? Another kill switch, it says. Hold on one second. I gotta find this for you. It's Neuralink. He's got a new place for it. It's like a huge place that, oh man, look at this girl. Poor girl. She's got the, I can't really play, but you see what her face is doing, right? People are getting really messed up, man. Hold on one second. I'm almost there. Here it is. 37 acres. Neuralink plans expansion. This was 3 weeks ago to a 37 acre near Giga, Texas. And here's the site would have 78,000 square foot building that would contain office and warehouse space. Also notes another 5,850 square foot vet office, a veterinarian office. Oh, and the monkeys. It didn't do the monkeys. It didn't show you the monkeys. I must have not hit the right button for that one. Oh, you got to hear this. Okay, one more thing. I know I keep saying that, but one more thing. You got to hear what this lady says. All right, there's a commercial, so...
You know, your skateboarding skills aren't what they...
What did you guys think of the video? that I made? Was it good? Did it bring it around for you? What they're going to use these things for? It's not so that you can't work. I mean, they're to replace people.
Learn more at
That's what I
gettoknowhimbetter.com.
think, anyway. I think they're there to replace us. And to fight the war to kill us. Okay, here we go. Wait. Don't go down. Wait.
A California university is refusing to release a cache of grisly photos of monkeys reportedly injured during experiments testing Elon Musk's Neuralink brain implant technology, in spite of a lawsuit aiming to force the school's hand. In a press release, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, advocacy group said that it had learned that the University of California, Davis is in possession of 371 photos of the experimented upon monkeys that were subjected to Neuralink tests, which took place at the school's veterinary lab facilities. Earlier this year, Neuralink admitted that a fifth of the 23 rhesus macaques monkeys it used to test its brain-hacking implants had been euthanized after developing infections and malfunctions. Bolstering PCRM's credibility, that admission came in the wake of a complaint it filed against Neuralink. Now, PCRM says it learned that UC Davis is in possession of the hundreds of photos depicting, among other things, necropsies of animals killed in the experiments after filing a lawsuit against the school in February over its shielding of the photos, which the university argues are proprietary. UC Davis thinks the public is too stupid to know what they're looking at, Physicians Committee Research Director Ryan Merkley said in the press release. But it's clear the university is simply trying to hide from taxpayers the fact that it partnered with Elon Musk to conduct experiments in which animals suffered and died. The nonprofit said in the release that it had learned through its lawsuit that Neuralink paid UC Davis $1.4 million to use its facilities between 2017 and 2020. As the release notes, the school has already released hundreds of pages of documents which showed monkeys suffering from chronic infections, seizures, paralysis, and painful side effects following the experiments. In February, UC Davis and Neuralink both responded to the lawsuit by issuing statements saying that they had complied with established research protocols and regulations. UC Davis directed Futurism to that February statement and added that the school has fully complied with the state law in responding to PCRM's public records request. Futurism has also reached out to Neuralink for comment regarding the lawsuit and its plans to prevent such harm from coming to animal research subjects in the future. For now, we don't know how gruesome the photos of the experimented upon macaques may be, and until the school or Neuralink is forced to give them up, we'll have to contend with our imaginations.
Macaques.
Did you
Aren't
know
those
that
like
at
little
any given
tiny
time
monkeys?
there are 100 million
Macaques. Monkeys. I know I spelled it wrong. Macaws? I think they're the little ones, aren't they? There it is. Macaques. Macaque. That sounds like macaque. Sorry. Okay. Did I tell you guys that I got stung by bees yesterday? I was going to come on last night and I couldn't because I took 2 Benadryl. But I got stung like at least 9 times. I couldn't move this thumb. I still can't move it all the way. And my finger too. Like it still hurts. But right here, it just feels like bruised. It was like all puffed up. I was being stupid. I've got new gloves to wear, but I was wearing these little other ones, and they didn't work. And then I was like starting to like do a little bit of a panic thing after I got stung, like I don't know, probably 6-7 times. And I was like, oh, you know, it was like I wasn't really like scared yet. But when it got up in my hair, I got 2 in the back of the head. Right here and right here. So, and I just went ahead. Ooh, I can feel it right there. A bump. because I didn't get the stinger out. So it was just pumping me full. Look at the cute little macaques. Sounds funny. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm getting embarrassed. Okay. I was going to zoom in on this. What is this? Near the Colorado River, and you heard him say that there was a veterinarian office going in. Are they going to do some things with this Neuralink with some more animals? And what about the macaques? I still can't say that without laughing. Rainwater tanks, existing residence, proposed absorption field, proposed building, lab, office. FEMA. Does that say FEMA? FEMA, 100-year-old flood plan. Another building, absorption field. Are they going to put their junk in the Colorado River or something? Anyway, that's planned to sit in the Del Valle area, situated on Caldwell Lane, off Texas 71, which is near the Colorado River. Neuralinks, and it's with an A, Neuralink sites are listed under the name River Bottom Ranch, LLC. Just giving up all the goods here. On the documents, Scott Padilla, project manager for Neuralink, is noted as the manager for the entity. He also listed as treasurer in the documents. It's expanding. They want to put Neuralinks in everybody through the vein. You know, what is going on? All these people falling over dead. The one guy like started twirling and fell into a moving train, and like he got killed like that. But I think he was gonna die anyway, because I think that's what's happening with these people. It might be, I don't know, I'm not allowed to say. So anyway, let's just see if Elon Musk is done.
Obviously. So
I'll put the link.
And I hope you will consider joining
I'll
Tesla.
put it here,
to,
and then I'll put it in the description.
At Tesla, we really care about doing the right thing here, or aspire to do the right thing.
They care about doing the right
really
thing, guys.
Pave the road to hell with good intentions. And I think the road to hell is mostly paved with bad intentions, but every now and again there's a good intention in there.
He's talking about
we want to do the
intentions
right
now.
Thing. So
we're in
consider
trouble.
joining us and helping make it happen. With that, let's move on to the next phase.
Right on, thank you, Elon.
Next phase.
All right, so you've seen a couple robots today. Let's do a quick timeline recap. So last year we unveiled the Tesla Bot concept, but a concept doesn't get us very far. We knew we needed a real development and integration platform to get real-life learning as quickly as possible. So that robot that came out and did the little routine for you guys, we had that within 6 months, built, working on software integration, hardware upgrades over the months since then. But in parallel, we've also been designing the next generation, this one over here. So this guy is rooted in the foundation of sort of the vehicle design process. You know, we're leveraging all of those learnings that we already have. Obviously, there's a lot that's changed since last year, but there's a few things that are still the same, you'll notice. We still have this really detailed focus on the true human form. We think that matters for a few reasons. But it's fun. We spend a lot of time thinking about how amazing the human body is.
Because we're awesome.
We have this incredible range of motion, typically really amazing strength. A fun exercise is if you put your fingertip on the chair in front of you, you'll notice that there's a huge range of motion that you have in your shoulder and your elbow, for example. Without moving your fingertip, you can move those joints all over the place. But the robot, you know, its main function is to do real useful work. And it maybe doesn't necessarily need all of those degrees of freedom right away. So we've stripped it down to a minimum sort of 28 fundamental degrees of freedom, and then of course our hands in addition to that. Humans are also pretty efficient at some things, and not so efficient in other times. So for example, we can eat a small amount of food to sustain ourselves for several hours. That's great. But when we're just kind of sitting around, no offense, but we're kind of inefficient. We're just sort of burning energy. So on the robot platform, what we're going to do is we're going to minimize that idle power consumption, drop it as low as possible. And that way we can just flip a switch, and immediately the robot turns into something that does useful work. So let's talk about this latest generation in some detail, shall we? So on the screen here, you'll see in orange our actuators, which we'll get to in a little bit, and in blue our electrical system. So now that we have our sort of human-based research, and we have our first development platform, we have both research and execution to draw from for this design. Again, we're using that vehicle design foundation, so we're taking it from concept through design and analysis, and then build and validation. Along the way, we're going to optimize for things like cost and efficiency, because those are critical metrics to take this product to scale eventually. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to reduce our part count and our power consumption of every element possible. We're going to do things like reduce the sensing and the wiring at our extremities. You can imagine a lot of mass in your hands and feet is going to be quite difficult and power consumptive to move around. And we're going to centralize both our power distribution and our compute to the physical center of the platform. So in the middle of our torso, actually it is the torso, we have our battery pack. This is sized at 2.3 kilowatt hours, which is perfect for about a full day's worth of work. What's really unique about this battery pack is it has all of the battery electronics integrated into a single PCB within the pack. So that means everything from sensing to fusing, charge management, and power distribution is all in one place. We're also leveraging both our vehicle products and our energy products to roll all of those key features into this battery. So that's streamlined manufacturing, really efficient and simple cooling methods, battery management, and also safety. And of course, we can leverage Tesla's existing infrastructure and supply chain to make it.
Why don't we talk about Tesla technology? Like, you know, free energy and how you could utilize that with a robot and where it didn't need a battery. How about that? I think we're the batteries, guys. I think that's the whole thing. This is just a distraction, a promise, like you're not going to be the slave. These things are going to be the slave.
So going on to sort of our brain, it's not in the head, but it's pretty close. Also in our torso, we have our central computer. So as you know, Tesla already ships full self-driving computers in every vehicle we produce. We want to leverage both the autopilot hardware and the software for the humanoid platform, but because it's different in requirements and in form factor, we're going to change a few things first. So we still are it's going to do everything that a human brain does, processing vision data, making split-second decisions based on multiple sensory inputs, and also communications. So to support communications, it's equipped with wireless connectivity as well as audio support. And then it also has
I don't know about you guys, but I can't get my computers to last more than 3 years. So, you know, what's going to happen? And it can't get wet or be around water. Hey, that's kind of a good thing, right? Like if we needed to malfunction one of them, water's something to think about.
Hardware level security features, which are important to protect both the robot and the people around the robot. So now that we have our sort of core, we're going to need some limbs on the
Be like turn them to the cat, like, you know, they don't like the spray. I've got the squeegee, I've got the, you know, got the squirter.
And we'd love to show you a little bit about our actuators and our fully functional hands as well. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce Malcolm, who's going to speak a little bit about our structural foundation for the robot.
Thank you, Lizzie. Tesla have the capability to analyze highly complex systems. They don't get much more complex than a crash. You can see here a simulated crash from Model 3 superimposed on top of the actual physical crash.
It's
incredible how accurate it is. Just to give you an idea of the complexity of this model, it includes every nut, bolt, and washer, every spot weld, and it has 35 million degrees of freedom. Quite amazing. And it's true to say that if we didn't have models like this, we wouldn't be able to make the safest cars in the world. So can we utilize our capabilities using the motions to the tasks we want the robots to do? These tasks are picking up boxes, turning, squatting, walking upstairs. Whatever the set of tasks are, we can place in the model. This is showing just simple walking. We can create the stresses in all the components that helps us optimize the components. These are not dancing robots. These are actually the modal behavior, the first 5 modes of the robot. And typically, when people make robots, they make sure the first mode is up around the
like
top
the
single
way
figure,
Biden
towards 10
walks.
hertz. The way to do this is to make the controls of walking easier. It's very difficult to walk if you can't guarantee where your foot is wobbling around. That's okay to make one robot. We want to make thousands, maybe millions. We haven't got the luxury of making them from carbon fiber and titanium. We want to make them from plastic. Things are not quite as stiff. So we can't have these high targets. I call them dumb targets. We've got to make them work at lower targets. So is that going to work? Well, if you think about it, sorry about this, but we're just bags of soggy jelly and bones thrown in. We're not high frequency. If I stand on my leg, I don't vibrate at 10 hertz. People operate at low frequency, so we know the robot actually can. It just makes controls harder. So we take the information from this, the modal data and the stiffness, and feed that into the control system. That allows it to walk. Just changing tack slightly, looking at the knee. We can take some inspiration from biology, and we can look at what the knee is. It turns out it actually represents quite similar to 4-bar link, and that's quite non-linear. That's not surprising, really, because if you think when you bend your leg down, the torque on your knee is much more when it's bent than it is when it's straight. So you'd expect a non-linear function. And in fact, the biology is non-linear. This matches it quite accurately. So that's a representation. The 4-bar link is obviously not physically a 4-bar link. As I said, the characteristics are similar. But me bending down, that's not very scientific. Let's be a bit more scientific. We've played all the tasks through this graph. And this is showing picking things up, walking, squatting, the tasks I said we did on the stress. And that's the torque seen at the knee against the knee bend on the horizontal axis.
I'm sorry, but I can't sit through all of this.
Object which need to be translated into joint specs. Therefore, we use our model that generates the torque speed trajectories for our joints, which subsequently is going to be fed in our optimization model to run through the optimization process. This is one of the scenarios that the robot is capable of doing, which is turning and walking. So when we have this torque speed trajectory, we lay it over an efficiency map of an actuator, and we are able, along the trajectory, to generate the power consumption and the energy, cumulative energy for the task.
What's
One joint
this?
at the
This
same
is
time.
pretty.
So the resulting portfolio is 6 actuators, and they show in a color map.
Right
in the middle
wrist,
figure.
yeah.
And the actuators can be also viewed in this slide. We have 3 rotary and 3 linear actuators, all of which have a great.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding.
Because our muscles can do the same when they are
So you gonna
directly
play the
driven.
piano?
When they are directly driven, our quadricep muscles can do the same thing. It's just that the knee is an up-gearing linkage system
that a
that converts the
piano
force
over there?
into velocity at the end effector of our heels for purposes of giving to the human body agility. So this is one of the main things that are amazing about the human body. And I'm concluding my part at this point, and I would like to welcome my colleague Mike, who's going to talk to you about hand design. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Constantinos. So we just saw how powerful a human and a humanoid actuator can be. However, humans are also incredibly dexterous. The human hand has the ability to move at 300 degrees per second. It has tens of thousands of tactile sensors.
Okay, I'm
similar, and
skipping
some other
you.
require more heavy lifting. So for example, our computer
If
vision
you're
neural
not going to
networks,
have him play the
we're
piano,
pulling directly from autopilot to the bot's situation. It's exactly the same occupancy network that we'll talk into a little bit more details later with the autopilot team that is now running on the bot
This
here in
is
this video.
cool.
The only thing that changed really is the training data that we had to recollect. We're also trying to find ways to improve those occupancy networks
8 cameras.
using work
He's
made
got
on low
8
radiance
cameras.
fields to get really great volumetric rendering of the bot's environment.
Ooh,
For example,
that's making
here,
me
some machinery that the
dizzy.
bot might have to interact with.
Drunk, like, oh.
Another interesting problem to think about is, in indoor environments, mostly with that sense of GPS signal, how do you get the bot to navigate to its destination? Say, for instance, to find its nearest charging station. So we've been training more neural networks to identify high-frequency features, key points within the bot's camera streams, and track them across frames over time as the bot navigates to its
You know
environment.
he's going to have
And we're
5G
using
all
those
over
points
the
to get
place.
a better estimate of the bot's pose and trajectory within its environment as
His
it's
facility's probably got a ton of 5G. Those people are probably going to get cancer that work there.
start accelerating as we unlock more joints and deploy more advanced techniques like arms balancing.
But this is CGI right here.
So locomotion
So
is
we're not
specifically
even
one component that's very
watching
different
a real
as we're moving
walk.
from the car to the bot's environment. And so I think it warrants a little bit more depth, and I'd like my colleagues to start talking about this now.
They're like way behind
Following the
Tesla
design
is, right?
And
Like,
we start from this and add then foot trajectories that connect these footsteps using
aren't
tall
they
open
way
wheel slides, just as
behind
the
like
humans-
what Boston
just as humans do.
Dynamics is
And
doing?
this gives us the largest.
This
Now
is
we have
kind
all
of
the pieces we
boring.
need in order to close the loop. So we use our better bot model, we use the understanding of reality that we've gained through state estimation, and we compare what we want versus what we expect that reality is doing to us in order to add corrections to the behavior of the robot. Here, the robot certainly doesn't appreciate being poked, but it does an admirable job of staying upright. The final point here is a robot that walks is not enough. We need it to use its hands and arms to be useful. Let's talk about manipulation.
I saw an article they
Hi,
were
everyone. My name's
using
Eric,
some
robotics engineer on
robots
Tesla.
in
And
Ukraine.
I want to talk about how we've made the robot manipulate things in the real world. We wanted to manipulate objects while looking
You know they
as
got the
natural
dog
as possible,
ones.
and also get there quickly. So what we've done is we've broken this process down into two steps.
I think
First is
they're
generating
just
a library of
pulling our
natural motion
leg, you
references,
guys.
or we could call it in the real world. For instance, this
I
would only
think
work
they're
for a
just
box
like,
in
this is where we're at. It's all just slow going, and we can't get them out there to you yet until we've got you all neuro laced up. And then you find out you're the one interfacing with the computer. So, yeah, there's the link. We should talk, yeah, Nicole. We should go over to Discord and talk. Wonder if Thomas is around. Let's go. Let's see if he's in his server. That'd be fun. Well, you guys, thanks for coming. And I mean, you're welcome to go watch it
We started having
on
something
your
that
own. I'm not going to sit through all that. I don't have very much patience for being manipulated. And I know they've been manipulating us. And I didn't appreciate the psychedelic stuff at the beginning either. But that's me. Maybe some people get into it. Maybe they're, excited about the new robots. I'm not. And I think a lot of Christians are not. They don't want this stuff. And I know that because I watched a whole group of people that were sitting in an audience a lot like this, and they all said, the guy up front, he was like, everybody's gonna love the robots. You know, he's like expecting that. And he was like, all the Christians, raise your hand if you want the robots. And like hardly, like maybe 2 out of the whole crowd raised their hand. And we don't want this stuff. And he goes, that is so weird, because, and he wasn't a Christian, but he was like, that's so weird, because most groups that I speak to, they want it. And this is very odd, that because the Christians know what's going to happen. We know prophecy, and you know, the beast system is it's going to have full control. And with these computers and being able to see with eight cameras with these robots, they'll be able to see just like a human being would. Like, I mean, they could have eyes in the back of their head with the cameras. They could have one on their elbow if they wanted, you know, be their little spies. I wouldn't want one in my house. I'm like Will Smith, though, the iRobot. That'd be me. I'd be like, I'm telling you, these things are coming for us. They're going to kill us. You know, they're going to take our guns. They're going to like wreck our cars. They're going to, you know. And Terminator, yeah, Terminator's. Then the rest of it, like the drones, I can't stand that. The drones in Ukraine, whenever I see those videos of them just, you know, trying to hunker down and hide in these, you know, dugout trenches that they've made so they can stay safe. Because if they peek their head up, yeah, that's like scary, right? But you got your helmet and everything. But you aren't expecting something to come from up there. Well, now they will. And I watched a video yesterday on Twitter of a guy that he was crying. He was like, he was on the phone with the suicide hotline, and the cop pulled him over. And he was just like breaking down. He was from in the military. And so this is, you know, they can put flowers and psychedelic lights to it if they want to, but this is not good. And I think Elon Musk knows that. I mean, you saw the end of that video I did. He knows. He knows this is bad. And he's still going forward with it, but I think it's a lot of the people that he works with too. Because he's not really, he can only do a small part, and then the rest of the specialists have to also pitch in, and so he's got a team. He's part of a team, you know, team against humanity, if you ask me. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Love you guys. Thanks for coming and watching with me. I'm kind of glad that it's not anything phenomenal. I don't want people to get excited about it, to be honest. No one gets fame without paying a price. That's right. Well, let's, I'm going to head over to Thomas's if you're able, Nicole. I'd love to talk to you. See you later, everybody. If you're not on my Discord, I'm hoping that by the end of fall, which is in, what, a month or so, maybe before then, I might start having some things on my Discord server. So I'll put a link to this, and then I'll put a link to my Discord server in there. So God bless you all. Thanks for coming.